wants to fold? Hi, it's Daniel, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool owl if it already hasn't been emphasized. My favorite part about it is it can even balance on your finger. Let's get to folding, shall we? So for this owl, I'm using a 10-inch sheet of this paper called Biotope. But you can just use any square, but I do not recommend using anything really heavy like cardstock because there's a lot of layers that get put into here. So let's start. First, fold the verticals, so this point to that point. Make sure to make really precise folds and crease sharply. Unfold. This point to that point. Unfold. Fold this point to the crease we just made, like that. Unfold and repeat. So this point to the crease we just made. Unfold. So now you're going to fold this point to that point right there. You want to try and align it with this so it hits right at the intersection of all the points. Unfold. Rotate and repeat. So this point to the intersection of all the points. Unfold, turn over, lift this crease up, and fold it to this line, the center line. You want to make sure that it aligns all the way, or else your crease might be a little off. Unfold, rotate, and repeat. So lift this crease up and fold it to this line. This model is a little tricky, but if you're up for the challenge, let's continue. Unfold. So now rotate, turn over so that all the lines are going this way, and fold this point to that point and don't unfold. So now we're going to make a fold, so fold this point to that point, so it's like this, but don't crease it all the way. You only want to crease it to here. So you go through 1, 2. So it looks like that. And do the same on this side. So this point to the bottom point, and only crease from here and up. Unfold. So now, because we want to make 2 diagonal creases right here, so now we have to make the one that goes the other way. So to do that, this edge to that crease. And now only crease through 1, 2. Unfold and repeat over here. So this edge to that crease. And only crease through 1, 2. Unfold. So now fold this over. Fold this point up and then squash fold it. So this is a little bit of a tricky step. I'm going to try and explain it the best I can. So mount and fold this. Sorry about that. So now make these two creases mountains. And you have this crease that's a mountain. Fold this over so that that point right here hits that point. So it's like this. And now you want to flatten it along this crease and this crease. So this will end up being a mountain, this will end up being a valley. So, mountain, mountain, and then these end up being valleys. So it should look something like this. Turn over and repeat. So fold this over, fold it up, put your hand inside, squash it down, so it looks like this. Make these mountain folds. Mountain. This point to that point. This ends up being a mountain. And this ends up being a mountain. And then these end up being valleys. Like that. So these three flaps end up becoming the little feathers on the front of the owl. So let's continue. So now we're going to fold this flap up and squash fold it. Now we're going to make a bird base. So don't let this crease trick you up, so when you're folding it up you use that and you only go partial of the way. Let's make the pre-creases for it. So this edge to that crease, this edge to the same crease, and fold the layers down along that edge, so like that. And you don't want to crease all the way, you only crease till the end, right here. So now unfold, and then fold this part up along that crease, and then let these come in along these creases, like this. So now it looks something like this. So turn over, fold this up, squash it, but don't do the same thing. First time I tried this model, I did that again and then it turned out wrong. So you want to fold this flap over, put your finger inside here and squash it. So now we're going to make pre-creases for a tricky step. Fold this edge to that edge. Unfold this edge to that edge. Creases and edge. Unfold. So now, I'm going to fold this up so the crease that we make that goes up would be connecting this point and that point. So, like this. And then you make a point right here. So this would be halfway done. And do that here. So, it looks like this. And flatten. And fold this down. One layer over, and repeat. So, you want to open this up, squash, fold, So now this edge to the edges and the crease. Unfold, same here, this edge to that crease and edges, like that. Fold. Now we're going to do that tricky step again. So you're making a fold as if it's connecting these 2 points. So like this. Flatten. And fold down. Now fold this over. So now turn over, fold this up as far as it'll go without tearing the paper. So for me it's about this far. And don't worry about it going all the way. Most of the time it won't. And repeat here. So fold as far as it'll go. Turn over. Now fold this flap up as far as it'll go. So it'll end up being connecting these 2 points. Like that. Now we're going to rabbit ear this flap. So let's make the pre-creases. This edge to that crease. Unfold this edge to that crease. And now we're going to make all of the folds at once. So, valley, valley. So then it'll look like this. And then this, and then this ends up being a mountain from this side. So like this. And fold it over. Now, fold this down. And then bring this flap over. And then as you fold it down, fold this rabbit ear between these 2 little leg flaps. So, was like this. Open, through, and back. So now it looks something like this. And the flap is now on the back. And this ends up being the little tail. So now we're going to squash fold this. So open up this little pocket and then squash fold it down. Now, this is really optional. You could just fold this up like this, but I always like to do it. So it is a little tricky though. Not very, but you can manage it, most of you guys. So we're gonna fold this up about here. So fold it up, and naturally these 2 sides try to come in. Just try not to tear the paper. It happens. It won't come out in the front of the model, so that's good. So now you want to turn it over. Now we're going to make little 3 feather flaps. So fold this down as far as it'll go, connecting that point and that point, like that. Now we're going to leave this flap here and just pleat this one up. So just kind of push it up. And then on this one, it's the easiest, so you just end up pleating this big flap on top. So now it looks something like this. So now we're gonna make the wings. So fold this part down as far as it'll go. Same here. Now fold it up in a 90-degree angle, and then we're gonna squash it. So find the center, put your finger in, and fold it down. So these end up being the wings. Rotate and repeat. So open, go all the way down, and squash. So now you start see the owl. So it should look something like this. Now we're gonna start making the head. So fold this point to that point right there. Not all the way down to the end of the legs. So fold like that. These steps are really to taste on how big you want the eyebrows to be and how big you want the beak to be. So fold this up. And now fold this point down here. Now fold it so that this crease right here goes along that crease. So down, and now you see the crease. Yes, it goes along. Perfect. Now fold it up along this crease, like that. And then fold it down along that crease. So it should look something like this. Now we're gonna make the little eyebrows. So now fold this edge as far as it'll go and as far as you want. So I usually try and align it so this edge hits that edge, but this is to taste. So now the same, this edge to that edge. So it looks something like this. Now this is where you choose if you want to have a skinny owl like this, and you can make little horns, so it's a great horned owl, or you want it to be a little fat baby owl. I usually like it to be a baby owl, but I'll show you guys how to do both. So you'd stop here and make the wings now if you want a baby owl, but to make the horned owl, then you follow along. So you turn it over, fold this down along that crease, and repeat here, down along that crease. So now you fold it to taste on how skinny you want it to be. So if you want it to be about this skinny, you can do it. If you want it to be even more skinny, then you can do that, but I recommend not trying to fold through all these layers. It gets pretty thick and hard. So now you do it on this side. So it's like this. And now you want to fold this flap up again on this side and this side. So now if you want to make the horns, then just pinch at the top and then fold it up. So it looks something like this. Now you can leave it here if you like the wings, but I usually like to shape the wings. So we'll do that now. So just pinch up. You could just pleat this back and forth, but I usually like the wings 3D. So anywhere you want, just pinch up and fold over. So now it starts to have a cone shape. And then repeat that. So lift up, then over, up, and over. I usually do it 3 times. So now it looks something like this, and then repeat. So same here. So crease up, over, up, over, one last time. Do it. Pick up the crease and fold it over. So now you're completed with the owl. So, who liked the owl design? As I said in the video, it is a little bit tricky, but the payoff is great. A lot of the steps are to taste, so you can play around with it and make your basic own design. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment down below if you have any questions about what paper I'm using, questions about the folding, or what project you want to see next.